Welcome, everyone, to Let's Talk Romance Books. And today I am delighted to have Lauren Ho joining us. Welcome, Lauren.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
I would like to introduce Lauren as Lauren Ho is a reformed legal counsel who now writes for pleasure. She has previously worked for Doctors Without Borders and UNHCR. Hailing from sunny Malaysia, she lived in the UK, the United Kingdom, France, and Luxembourg before moving with her family to Singapore, where she is ostensibly working on her next novel. She is the author of best-selling rom-coms Last Tang Standing and Lucy Yi is Not a Romantic. Both came out in 2020 and 2022. So, Lauren, before we learn more about your books, can you share with us something that made you smile today?
My children, I have two, and this morning they were wonderful, so they made me smile.
Oh, that's great. And you're joining us all the way from
I'm in Singapore, so it's
Singapore.
8 a.m. in the morning right now, which is
Yeah.
typically around the time I leave the house. But today I'm here talking with you guys.
Thank you so much. And it is 8 o'clock at night here in Orlando, Florida, on the East Coast.
Fantastic.
So, as a writer, you need time to write, but how about reading? And if so, what are you currently reading?
I recently read this very popular book of fiction. I think it's called Yesteryear.
Yes.
Yep, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a I understand it's quite a divisive book, but I enjoyed it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you or did you have any pets?
Did I have any pets? I don't currently have pets, but I used to have dogs growing up, and I had two cats when I was living in Luxembourg. So that's I guess I'm both a dog and cat person. Can we be both?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
you
I think we
can.
can. Yes.
Wonderful. Tea or coffee? What's your favorite?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee in the morning, but I actually really like tea.
Tea. Which is your
Mhm.
favorite kind of tea?
I really like white tea, green tea, so they're on the lighter side.
Yeah.
But when I'm having Chinese food, I tend to go for oolong or pu'er, and those are more heavy, like black teas.
Yes.
But I generally enjoy all types of teas. And when I'm in the UK, I drink tea out of a bag, the
Okay.
what they call it, builder's tea, which is
Okay.
basically just tea, black tea steeped in a lot of milk,
Oh,
um, and a lot of sugar.
that's great.
It's good. I love teas.
Wonderful. So, complete this sentence for me. When I wake up every morning,
Hope for the best.
that is a beautiful response. Hope for the best.
It's the best
And
we can do.
for your kids to make you smile every morning.
Yes, yes, yes. That is yeah what I'm doing every morning. I'm just crossing my fingers, going,
Yeah.
please, this morning, please cooperate.
Yeah.
I just want to get you to school on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the eternal
Name,
struggle of parents with youngish kids, I guess.
yeah, definitely. So, name one thing on your bucket list.
I want to say I would love to see the Northern Lights in person one day.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean, I've been like wanting to do that for some time now, and hopefully soon. Yeah,
wow.
before the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I kid.
No,
Yes.
that's wonderful. You know, I've had so many authors say they want to see the Northern Lights. I think we should all go on a trip together. I'm going
Oh,
to
that
get
would be
everyone,
amazing.
you
That
know.
would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that would be
a
fun.
literary cruise where
Yes.
everybody brings their favorite books, then we read, then we have some cups of tea or stronger stuff.
Yes, that would be fun.
We
That would
travel
be,
up and see the Northern Lights.
yes. So, weirdest or unique thing you own?
Um, I I don't have it on me right now, but I guess a red light mask. Um, is that the
Ah,
weirdest thing you own?
yeah,
I
weird
mean,
or
it's pretty
unique?
scary.
That's unique,
I don't think it's weird per se.
but
Um,
it's unique.
it is I don't think it's that unique anymore, but it is weird, especially when I put it on. So
Yes.
I do own a red light mask.
Okay. What do your kids say anything or have any, are they okay? Are they saying, Mommy, are you okay wearing the mask? Were they
I just tell
curious?
them like I'm in like resting robot mode, so and they're like,
Ah,
"Oh, okay, she's fine.
that's
Let's not
cool.
talk to her now. Mommy is in resting robot mode." So,
That is a cool, that's so cool. Okay, do you have any hobbies or particular skills aside from reading and writing?
I like to think that I'm good at karaoke, but
Oh,
people around me would beg to differ. So I really love okay, so in at least in Asia, like it's really common to go to like karaoke rooms where you
yes.
go into like a complex with like several rooms and you perform karaoke. It's not really in a bar in public. I mean, you can also find places like that, but
Yeah,
it's more like a yeah, it's like you go with your friends. And
yes,
then you unleash your inner Mariah or whoever, right?
yes,
And
yes.
I like to think that I have an inner Mariah, but she may not actually be Mariah. It's more like, I don't know, Jim Carrey. I don't know. But
Well,
I
my
try.
kids would tell you that I can definitely not do karaoke well because I can't carry a tune. I could lip sync, that I'm good at.
See? See,
Yeah,
that is important, and an important skill. At
yeah,
least it's entertaining. I'd like to think.
yes,
Yes,
yes. I would love to sing like anybody. But anyway, let's talk romance now.
sure.
About writing, did you always dream about becoming an author?
Um, I grew up wanting to write in some professional capacity or other. Um, I I have been like entering writing competitions, like short story writing competitions, uh, s- s- like since young, and I was quite competitive about it. I would like search up all the like international ones and submit, and I did pretty well in some of them. And one day I just thought like, why not move from short stories to writing a novel? And that happened sometime around 2018 because I felt like I had a story to tell.
Yeah.
I was also doing amateur stand-up comedy around that time and really, I guess, honing my comedic storytelling skills.
Hmm.
And I dreamt up this character of Andrea Tang, who is the protagonist of my first
Yes.
novel. I don't know if you can actually see it because like
If you put it
the
right in
filter is
front of
blurring me. Oh,
yes,
there you
yes.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my first novel. It's also the one I guess I'm the most well known for. It debuted in 2020, and literally the protagonist actually came from like the bits that I've been performing regularly on stage. Um, and she was just such a real character to me that I felt like I had to put her in a book. And so that's how like my first uh novel was inspired and I wrote the entire book in a year. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so I guess I've always wanted to be a writer in some shape or form. But I always thought I would be like a short story writer. Yeah.
Okay. And what led you to choose romance, to write romance or romantic elements?
You for my first novel, I didn't really set out to write like a romance. I had like not a very good understanding of the business. And I would say that like writing is a business, publishing is a business. And there are genre conventions. Like we all know we're all romance readers. We know that like capital R means HEA is expected or happy for now.
Yes.
And so like originally in Last Time Standing, I had a completely like different ending and vision for the book when I went on submission. Like when I first tried to find an agent, right? And like the agent I ultimately went with told me, look, we think that this book is more suited as a rom-com. I mean, you it clearly intended it as a so-called women's fiction, and I also have my reservations about that as a category. You clearly had pitched it in that you wanted it to be women's fiction, like general fiction, but we think that with the voice and with like all the comedic elements in it, it would be better if you had a less vague ending, she said. And
Yeah.
I was like, so you want me to tweak the ending basically, and that's actually what I did. And I'm actually glad I did that, and that's what a good agent does for you. I'm always
Mm.
grateful for her for telling me that. So so again to answer your question, I didn't really set out to write romance, but it was just I guess like serendipitous. So
Yes.
my first book became a guess, quote unquote romance. Um, but I think in spirit it reads more like women's fiction.
Okay.
But you know, a good story is a good story.
Yes.
Um, like obviously we all love romance here. I love it in all forms. I love it in like K-dramas as well. But we like to think, I think authors ultimately want to write the best story, no
Yeah.
matter what genre we're in. And I've
Yes.
also written in other genres since then. And very happy to just talk about the romance books today. So,
Yeah. But no, I wanted to ask you about what other subgenres you write in, because that's always, we have eclectic readers. So although we're focusing on the romance, but let us know what other subgenres, aside from
like,
the women's fiction kind of element, what others?
sure, I have a young adult or coming of age rom-com. I'm gonna bring
Yes.
up the screen and make
It's
sure
right. If you
that
tilt
this,
it a little bit,
yeah.
tilt it. There we go. A little bit more. Yes.
So this
Bite
is Bite
me.
Me, Royce Taslim. It's a
Yes.
coming of age novel published by Disney Hyperion. It's more coming of age than rom-com, but it's kind of both. So it's young adult romance in a way, but I personally would classify it more as coming of age. And it's like a really funny book set in Kuala Lumpur about two teenagers who are competing for in a stand-up comedy competition. And I like to think it's funny.
Yeah.
A few other reviewers have said that it's funny and touching. And I have a murder mystery coming out next year called Sharpen Your Knives. It's a
Mhm.
comedic murder mystery. You will definitely enjoy it if you're familiar with my style of writing, which is has always had some strong comedic elements. Um, and I'm currently also working on a horror that hasn't sold
Wow.
yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hasn't sold yet. But I personally enjoy writing in different genres. And as I said before, it's about like putting the best story forward, no matter the genre.
Yes, definitely. So, what are three important facts that readers can expect to find in Lauren Ho story? Any, whether it's this one or any of your books.
Okay. I think a common theme or thread that runs through all my books is like an exploration of identity and belonging. It's always there in some way. Um, well, maybe not in the comedic murder mystery, but I think for like most of my books, at least the rom-coms or the women's fiction, they tend to have some element of like exploration of identity and belonging. So I think that's pretty common. For my first three books, so Lucy is Not a Romantic, Last Time Standing, and Bite Me Royce Taslim, they have very like strong comedic voice.
Yes.
So if you enjoy reading something that is, I guess, I mean, comedy is subjective, but
Yeah.
comedic, then yes,
Yes.
you will enjoy my books. I think these are very common. And my the third thing is my books are obviously more have stronger Asian representation in some shape or form. Um, I've lived in like across three continents now,
Mhm.
and I love the idea of representing the Asian diasporic cultures. Like, I have family in
Yes.
Australia and the US. Um, yeah, it's just something that I feel quite strongly about. And I think that like when you read about people from cultures different from yours, you
Hmm.
always like gain a better understanding of the human condition in general. And like
Yeah.
when you read fiction, fiction is so powerful, right? Like comedy is so
Yes.
powerful as well. It's just a
Yes.
tool of cutting across cultures and just like helping people see things from other points of view, which I
Yeah.
think in the current climate is really important.
Yeah.
Um, we can do with more togetherness, I think, and
Yeah.
more empathy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's just the world that I want to live in.
Wonderful. So tell us about Two Lives with You. What inspired you
Mm.
to write this book?
I'm glad my husband's not here.
And if
Well,
you can introduce
well,
Nigel and
Dana.
yeah,
Um,
and Dana.
it's about a burnt out millennial couple, and I am a semi burnt out millennial, I guess. I mean, not about the millennial part, burnt
Yeah,
out, yes. And it's about a burnt out millennial couple, second chance romance, if you want to throw
a
a
trope.
trope out there,
Yeah.
and make it easy for you to like categorize it. And it's about them exploring themselves in an alternate life
Mhm.
and an alternate life, alternate timeline without the kids and finding their way back to each other.
Mhm.
And once again, there's like themes about finding yourself, finding your idea of belonging and homecoming, and it's not as comedic as my other books, but there's still some comedy in there. But more importantly, I think readers reading this book will, especially if they're millennials, because it's quite millennial coded, will see themselves in there and hopefully find ways to talk about the heavier things that come out in day-to-day life, living with someone long term, because like when you're in a long-term relationship and it doesn't have to be marriage, could be any kind of partnership, even friendship, right? You
Yeah.
you just like go on and like small things are left unsaid and the resentment built up and sometimes relationships just fall apart from the smallest things, right? And I wanted to like represent that in the book, but also to show that there's like hope at the end of it if we can approach each other um, with honesty and just like understanding. And so
Yeah.
I think readers coming into this book will find that it's ultimately very hopeful, but it's also very raw. And I find it, if you're a reader of romance, I think it's just really hard sometimes to find books about people in their late 30s, 40s, early 40s, or just people in their midlife. And I feel like it's maybe not realistic because we can find romance at any age. And, like I would like to see more older representation in
Yes.
romance, like because it's not exclusive to being in your 20s or your
Yeah.
teenage years or in your 30s. Romance comes in different shapes and forms. Um, it comes in like different guys in under different guises. Like your idea of romance also evolves along
Yeah.
the way as you get older,
Yeah.
and it can be surprising in any age. So I mean, we all like, want that heady rush of falling in love when we're in our 20s, but I think there's also something to be said for the kind of romance that grows with you. It's comfortable, but it's also like, steady and strong in a way. So that's a kind of love that I'm putting forth in this
Yeah.
book, a kind of steady and somehow and a romance that's still capable of surprising you because in
Yeah.
its intensity. So that's basically the kind of trope, if you wish, that I'm exploring in this book, this second chance romance.
Yes, definitely. So the book that you mentioned that you're working on that that is coming out, the one the mystery thriller?
Murder mystery, yeah.
Yes. When is that coming out?
So my murder
Or what's it
mystery,
about, maybe? Let's share what's it about, if
what
you
can I talk
can.
about? Yeah, sure. It's about a, a writer. Um, I guess she's zillennial, so she's like late late millennial, early Gen Z, a zillennial, a writer who's been laid off from a magazine and suddenly gets a call from someone saying, "Hey, we would love for you to write a memoir um, for this really popular, famous Hollywood icon in his like 70s in Scotland." And she agrees and and they go there and it's fun and games in the first month and then he tells her that he's going to invite all his ex-wives and he has five, well, four and one current soon to be ex-wife as well for his 70th party, a birthday party with their families, and he's going to reveal that he's writing a memoir. And of course, no no spoilers because it is a murder mystery. Said gentleman is murdered, and fun and games ensue. Somewhat fun, lots of games, and it's going to be a riot because it's like in the genre of Knives Out, but in a book.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
And it's just like a riot. So if you like Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club, it's a little bit like that, but I would say the humor is more out there. And it's a proper mystery. Like I read Agatha Christie and I really like put myself I really, really tried to bamboozle the readers. So it's a proper mystery. It's not like a little bit of mystery and lots of shenanigans. I think it's like really literally Knives Out um meets Agatha Christie. So you will
Okay,
enjoy it. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So where can readers find you? On
Where can
social
you find me?
media?
I am mostly active on Instagram, on at Hello Lauren Ho. So it's HELLOLAURENHO. I have the same handle across social media platforms. So I'm also on X. I'm also on, I guess I'm still on Threads. I'm on Threads. I lurk. Um, I think I'm on Facebook as well, but I don't really update that. I'm sorry.
On
And
Instagram, I know.
yes, mostly on Instagram and also on TikTok, but more like a lurker.
Okay.
I'm in the midst of starting my own Substack, I guess. But
Okay.
I would really appreciate a follow on Instagram because that's my primary platform. And I do sometimes answer polite, appropriate DMs because
Yes.
we all get inappropriate DMs as women
Yeah.
on this platform. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yes, I am pretty active on it. So readers
Wonderful.
are welcome to reach out to me on DMs on Instagram,
Wonderful. And your website is?
www.hellolaurenho.com. Also
Oh,
not always updated.
but
Instagram remains my most current platform.
wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Lauren, for sharing all these wonderful insights. And to viewers, I hope to see you next week for another interview. We'll say bye for now.
Bye.